Welcome to Well, That Didn't Work, a podcast about a group of friends and their companions getting together to pretend to be other people, creatures, and things, doing things that mostly don't work out for them. I'm your GM and your host. My name is Percy, and today we've got two special guests with us, and I'm going to let them tell you a little about themselves before I introduce the rest of our crew. What?
I was going to have him go first.
Okay, yeah, Dave, why don't you go first?
Hey guys, my name is David Chaffins, and I do a Fallout 76 podcast that covers the history behind the upcoming game set in West Virginia. I do this all through the lens of my background in Appalachian geography, as well as my co-host's background in journalism and photography. Together we go through locations, creatures, and a number of different things about the game and learn about the real-life history of it and how it influences the game. So it's a great companion for when you're out there exploring the West Virginia wasteland. So you can listen to it, put in your earbuds, and learn some more about the actual history behind the game.
Awesome, and we've also got with us, and that was the Vault Boys of West Virginia, right?
Yeah, Vault Boys WV. We're on Android, iTunes, and SoundCloud.
Yeah, and I've listened to a couple of you guys' episodes, and they're pretty great. If you ever want to know more about the Mothman, they're the guys to listen to. It's super fun.
I'm wearing my Mothman shirt right now just because I didn't know
Nice.
if this is video or not, so I'm representing.
Nice. Represent. And we've also got with us a buddy of mine who does a slew of other podcasts, and I'll let him tell you a little bit about those. Nathan.
I'm Nathan Key. I am the co-host of Hi Hungry, I'm Dad, which is me and my co-host Jared. We are two nerdy dads talking nerdy fads. That's our tagline, but without the stutter in the middle. And
Sometimes there's still a stutter.
sometimes there's still a stutter. And we just kind of talk about current topics, stuff that makes us laugh, what's going on, and then at the end we hit the Twitterverse for #NeedAdvice, and we give bad advice to people, mostly because it's what we think is funny, which might not be funny to other people, but they don't have to listen. And I'm also a player on the show The Mundane and the Arcane, which we lovingly called Tamata, and it is a D&D 5e homebrew. That's pretty much it. I don't have to really explain that more. If you're listening to this, you know what I'm talking about. And then I also have a third show called Spoop Squad, where me, Jared, and our friend Nick watch bad horror movies on streaming services. And by bad, I mean that they are rated 50% and below, or 3 stars and under, or 3 skulls and under. And we talk about, we go over the kill count. We talk about just how bad the movie is. Like, we watch it so you don't have to. And we give it a rating, and 3 skulls means that all 3 of us recommend watching it, because sometimes stuff just gets a bum rap, but most of the time this stuff is terrible. Just go listen to our Escape from Tomorrowland episode and you'll know.
Nice. And then for our cast and crew, I've got with me, I'll just point at you and let you say your names because you don't have characters yet.
Yeah. So I'm Mike, and apparently I'm not special. So we're just going to go with that. You guys know me.
Oh, you could. I didn't know you weren't finished.
That
didn't work.
I'm Jason, and when it comes to Fallout, I'm kind of sort of the walking encyclopedia.
Yep, so we're not touching anything that you would know about.
Exactly.
And we got dog fighting in the background. I'm Rick.
Oh, not real dog fighting.
That's right.
Don't send police.
It's in West Virginia, so
Yes, it's the West Virginia hounds have caught a rad roach in Charleston streets.
So what are you saying? We're in Texas. Does that mean we have some roosters going out in the backyard?
Yeah.
So anyway, I've never played Fallout and or Paranoia, so this will be fun.
Yeah, and so just to recap some information that I have, Dave, you've never played a role-playing game on the tabletop.
Right. So I've never actually played. I'm a big fan of the Adventure Zone Amnesty. That's what kind of got me interested in it, mostly because guess what? Set in West Virginia, and I like
Of course,
I like the
absolutely.
cryptology stuff. And then they make little mentions to stuff in West Virginia, and it makes me feel good.
Nice. I think you would really enjoy the rest of their stuff too. I also started listening to them in Amnesty, and then went back and listened to all 139 episodes that they had before that. And man, it's good stuff.
Yeah, I think it's my boss at work went to school with him, and she was like, "Are you doing a podcast?" I have friends that do a podcast, and I was like, "Oh, what is it?" And we're like, they call it like the Adventure Zone, or they're McElroy Brothers or something. I was like, "Oh my god!"
So what you're telling me is that you could give us a direct connection to the McElroys?
I'm not saying anything. That's my supervisor, man. You'll have to take it up with her.
Well, I might have to do that. Anyway, as we get started, we said it a couple of times now, but we're playing a game of Fallout using a kind of twisted version of the Paranoia rule set. So normally Paranoia is 19 set, like you're stuck in a place called Alpha Complex. It's essentially a giant warehouse run by a supercomputer that wants everybody to be happy and kills you if you're not happy. That's essentially Paranoia.
Like
And
being at
there's
grandma's house.
it's a lot about communism and the scares of communism. And the most recent edition, published by Mongoose Publishing, has shifted from communism to terrorism, but the ideas are still the same of you're trying to root out the terrorists in your party, and mutants are bad, terrorists are bad, being unhappy is bad, and the computer wants everyone to be happy, and if you're not happy, you're dead.
So that's like
Paranoia.
the meetings will stop when morale improves?
Basically, yes. And Paranoia also has a thing called clones, which we're not using today in this iteration of Paranoia. Clones are essentially when you die, you get another chance 6 times, and then you're gone forever. But we're not playing Paranoia. We're not playing an Alpha Complex. We're playing Fallout. And you guys were born in and have been stuck in a vault for your entire lives. It's been a little while. The years get kind of hinky since you've been in the vault. But we'll say it's been about 100 years. So you're at 400-year-old America. Welcome. And before we get into what we're actually doing as the characters, I want to go over a couple of house rules that I've made for Paranoia to make it fit in this Fallout universe, just so that anybody listening doesn't send me an angry email about that's not how Paranoia works.
Send him an angry email, please.
I think he's paranoid about that.
So I got rid of trees and stars entirely, and instead of those we have rads because we're playing Fallout. We need radiation. Lots and lots of radiation. If you get 10 points of radiation, you are not allowed to enter a vault ever again, and you're ostracized from the rest of humanity. If you get 5 points of radiation, you can't go into your current vault until you have cleansed yourself of some of that and gotten below 5. That's how rads are going to work. The second big change is the stat line. Normally there are only 4 stats in Paranoia, and we, of course, we're playing Fallout. We couldn't not be special. So I've recreated the entire skill block to where instead of having 4 skills per stat, there are only 3, and it's spread throughout the 7 points of special. And you'll see those on your character sheets, and heck, we'll probably even post a copy of the character sheet on Instagram or Twitter or something so other people can see it and potentially use it for their own gains. The other big change is how combat works, because we're playing the game over Skype, and Paranoia generally uses a deck of cards for combat that you would have a hand of cards and you would secretly play one face down, and when I called your number you would turn it face up, and that would be when you win in combat. Well, we can't really do that. I didn't want to send Dave a whole deck of cards all to himself.
That would have been great. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I know you would have loved it. But the deck of cards only comes in the $50 box, and I wasn't going to buy a second one. So instead of doing that, I've got a list of 10 action types that you can do, and you guys can write these down on your sheet if you want to, going from 10 to 1. So in combat, I'll start counting down from 10, and when the action that you want to do comes up, you say that you want to go. So 10 is run. The easiest thing you can do is run away or toward. 9 is defend. So if you want to take a defensive stance, so you maybe don't take as many wounds. 8 is maneuver, to gain like the high ground. 7 is operate machinery. You can just write operate and just remember what that means. 6 is use equipment. Setting up a mine, tossing a grenade, using a grappling hook. 5 is shoot. 4 is push or throw. Pull would also be under that. 3 is melee. 2 is using a mutation. And 1, the last thing in initiative, because I don't want these people going before anyone else, is if you want to taunt or talk extensively. That's the train of the future going by.
Progress never sounded so good.
Exactly.
It's Snowpiercer.
We're not playing in Russia.
Okay, so I asked you guys not to make any characters or do anything like that leading into today's journey, because that's a big part of Paranoia and how it works. So the first thing that you'll need to do to create your character is come up with a name. Now, I will say this. It is important for our purposes that everybody be male. So go ahead and write that in your gender box. And I'll get to why that's important in a moment. But come up with any name that you would like. I'm already, like, I've got guys here smiling at me. Real dumb. I don't even know what they came up with. So,
It's
Rick.
definitely that one I sent you earlier.
Rick, what is your name?
Bronson.
Bronson. Jason, what is your name?
Jake the Snake Jenkins.
Jake.
Jake is the snake in quotes.
Snake Plissken.
Nathan, what is your name?
My character's name is Alvin Simon Theodore.
Well, then you have to use a specific voice. You know that.
Yeah, he knows.
I definitely know.
Mike, what is your name?
You know, I really wanted to change it after that one, but I'm just going to go simple. Just call me Zed.
Zed, okay.
Zed.
And Dave, what name did you come up with?
I've come up with Jesco Hatfield.
Excellent.
Is that a neighbor or something?
It's a combination of Jesco White, who you should look up on the internet, and Devilance Hatfield, leader of the Hatfield clan,
Oh, yeah,
and great relative of mine.
Really?
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Jesco Hatfield. All right, great. So that's your names. We'll leave occupation blank for now. And if you want to make a note about your personality, go ahead and do that. If there's some kind of particular quirk that you want to remember to do. And then pick a home state. It can be where you're actually from. It can be somewhere else. I'm not really going to ask for that. That was mostly because I had space on the sheet.
Could be a state of mind.
And normally in Paranoia, that box would be like what district you're from. So I just put home state. Cool. Now we're going to get into skills. So how skills work in Paranoia, and this is really the cooperative / destructive / rivalrous part of Paranoia, is I'm going to go around in a circle. Dave, you're going to be, for all intents and purposes, the person directly on my left.
Okay.
So we'll start with you this first round. And basically, I'm going to ask you, what skill do you want a +1 in? We're going to start determining what makes you all so special. You're going to pick a skill out of the 21 that are laid out on the sheet, something that you want to be good at, and you're going to put a +1 there. The trick is that the person to your left is going to take a -1 in that same skill.
Okay. All right.
So, Jesco Hatfield, what would you like a +1 in? Now, I will say this because I don't want any surprises at the end for anybody who hasn't ever played Paranoia. We're going to go up to +4. So don't pick your favorite stat for +1.
Okay.
Or do, I don't know.
Okay. I'm going to say agility.
Agility. All right. Well, so agility is actually a stat. Your skills are
Okay.
going to line up to being the stats.
I'm with
So
it.
pick one of the skills above agility.
Okay, I'll do speed.
Okay, speed. So you get a +1 speed, and Mike Zed is going to start with a -1 speed. Zed, what skill do you want a +1 in?
I'm going to go with stealth.
Stealth. Great. So Zed's got a +1 stealth, and that means Alvin, Simon, Theodore. And I'll call you one of those names depending on how I'm feeling in the moment.
That's fine.
You have a -1 in stealth. What would you like a +1 in, Theodore?
I would like a +1 in engineer.
Okay, great. Man, that must really cut you, Jason. You're an actual engineer in real life,
Actually, no.
and you have a
because
-1 in engineering.
it really doesn't bother me because of the character I'm trying to play, so that actually works out for me. I'm going to take a +1 in notice.
All right. So Rick, you have -1 in notice.
-1 in notice.
It's over under perception.
Oh, there we go. Oh, so I'm not going to be able to see things. Well, I could have gotten worse, actually.
All right. So Rick, what do you want a +1 in?
I'm going to take a +1 in survival.
Great. +1 in survival, and that means Dave, you have a -1 in survival.
All right.
All right. So thankfully, you guys didn't do it without me explaining it, but you can't pick a skill during a go around. So like now, you could pick a skill that somebody picked last round, but you can't pick the same skill twice in a go around. I forgot to mention that, but nobody did it, so I didn't have to interrupt. Good job. All right, Rick, let's start with you this time, and you're going to pick a skill again at +1. And the person to your right is going to get the minus version of that skill.
Then I will take athletics.
Okay, so you've got +1 athletics, and Jason, Jake the Snake Jenkins has -1 in athletics. What would you like a +1 in now?
Are we going to get to +3 or +4?
We'll get to +4.
Okay. Because I was just quickly doing the math, and I was like, no, we'll
Don't
get
worry
to
about the math.
I always worry about the math.
Don't worry about the math.
Can't
Anyway,
help the math.
I know.
sorry.
We have 3 hours,
all right.
Jason. Don't worry about the math.
I'll take the +1 in perform.
Okay, +1 performance. Nice. All right, Alvin.
All right, I will take the +1 in persuade.
Okay, great. +1 in persuasion, which means Zed has -1 in persuasion. He's not good at persuading, and he's not good at speed.
Payback is a bitch, sir.
All right, Zed, what do you want a +1 in?
I'm going to go ahead and take a +1 in resolve.
Okay, +1 resolve. So that means Jesco has -1 resolve. And Dave, what do you want a +1 in?
Let's see. I'll do. Has anybody done charm yet? I'll take a +1 in charm.
Okay, great. Go for it.
And that means I take a -1 in
It
charm?
does mean you take a -1 in charm.
I thought it was come back to the left.
Hang on. What
No,
did?
it's to the right on this round.
Okay.
Real quick. What did I have a -1 in from that last one? Sorry.
It was, what did you pick?
Resolve.
Resolve.
Okay. Great. Sorry about that.
Yep. All right, Dave, we'll start with you again. And this time you're picking a +2. Now, you can pick a skill that you already have a value in. It's just like if you have a -1 and you add a +2, you go up to +1.
Okay. I will take a. +2 in melee.
All right, so Mike, you'll take the -2 in melee. Zed, what do you want a +2 in?
Bluff.
Bluff.
That's what I was gonna pick.
Not anymore.
Not
That's
anymore.
what I said. Payback's a bitch, sir.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Simon, what do you want?
Let's call him Michelangelo.
I will take a +2 in. I'll take a +2 in operate.
Okay. +2 in operate.
So now you can't operate or engineer anything.
My +2 will go into guns, I think.
Okay,
Oh,
+2
that
in guns.
sucks.
So -2 in guns for you. Bronson. All right, Bronson, what do you want to +2 in?
Bombs.
Bombs. Nice. +2 bombs, which means, Dave, you'll have a -2 in bombs.
Sounds good.
All righty, Rick. You're going to start us off, and you're going to do a +3.
+3. Stealth.
+3 in stealth. So Jason's got a -3 in stealth for Jake the Snake Jenkins. All right, Jake, what do you want a +3 in?
Pressure.
Pressure. Nice. So far, you've got the absolute worst luck so far.
Yeah, I do.
Pretty great. So what do you want a +3 in now?
I want to do a +3 in program.
Okay, great. +3 in program, so -3 in program to you, Mike. And Zed, what do you want a +3 in?
I'm going to take notice.
+3 in notice. All right, so Dave, your character will take a -3 in notice.
So that means if he took notice, I would end up with more negatives in notice.
That's correct.
Okay.
But don't worry. Even when you have negatives, you get to roll more dice.
He's not
Just
wrong.
not the right dice. I'm
Dave,
sure.
Dave, what do you want a +3 in?
I got to do +3 in bluff.
Okay, great. So, Rick, that means you've got a -3 in bluff. Okay, this will be the next to last round, and we're going to start with the +4s. Dave, what do you want a +4 in?
I'll do a +4 in perform.
Okay, nice. So +4 in perform. Mike, you'll take the -4 in perform.
Yeah.
Mike, what does Zed want a +4 in?
I don't think Zed knows.
You
having
can
that trouble, too.
take a +4 on any skill that's not performed right now. So if there's something that's not where you want it to be, you can go ahead and take +4 in that to make it positive. You can't, however, go above a 4 in a skill. Skills range from -4 to
Right,
+4.
right. I mean, I got that, but I'm just trying to figure out where I want to put it. Let me go ahead and put the +4 in persuade.
Okay. Nathan, you taking a -4 to your persuasion,
Somebody's character just took a poopy.
which means I think you go from a +2
I'm
to
at
a
a
-2.
-3
Oh, -3. Nice.
in persuade.
Yep.
All right.
All right, Nathan, what do you want your +4 to be in?
I want my +4 to be in throw.
Okay.
Like throwing up.
That's awesome.
Considering we don't know what any of these skills or stats do.
No,
you know,
welcome
we're
to
just shooting
Paranoia.
fire.
Well, Rick, some of us who read my document know what the skills and
Oh, well,
stats do.
okay. Well, that's why I asked beforehand. What do I need to know?
All right, you took it in throw. So, Jason,
Yeah.
you've got a -4 in throw.
Yep, and I'm taking the +4 in melee.
Okay, great. So, -4 in melee to you, Rick. Rick, you've got a -4 in melee and a -3 in guns, right?
Yeah. Thank you, Jason.
All right. So, what do you want
No,
a +4
-2 in
Oh,
guns.
-2. Okay. So, what do you want a +4 in?
I don't have a clue.
Well, you got nothing in the intellect stat yet. That's very unlike you.
Yeah, I know. That's almost deliberate. +4. We'll go with throw.
No, that's already been taken.
Yeah.
Oh, this.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
took it.
this
Oh, you
round
took
has
it
been
this round?
throw's been taken this round.
We'll go with engineer.
+4 engineer. So
Yeah.
Dave, you've got -4 in engineering.
Okay.
All right, this is the last round. It's going to work a little bit differently. Rick, you're going to start it, and you are going to pick the person to take your -4.
Really?
So you get to take a +4 in something, and you get to pass it to anybody at the table.
+4 in throw.
So who do you want to take your -4?
We'll go with Theodore.
Theodore's going to take minus.
Just put me in 0.
Oh, did you? Oh, you took throw? You're the one that took throw?
No, that's fine.
Our visitor is getting really crapped on.
All right, Nathan. What do you want +4 in?
Apparently, you didn't hand out enough beer yet.
Hang on.
Well, you have to pick different people, though, right? You could pick. Everybody could pick the same person.
No. So you picked Nathan. Now I'm passing it to him. He's
Right.
gotta throw it to somebody. He can't put it on you. The last person is gonna put it on you.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna do +4 in resolve.
Okay. And who do you want to take your -4?
I'll pick Dave.
Dave, -4 in resolve.
All right.
All right. So what do you want +4 in, Dave?
Oh gosh, this is let me see here. I'll do +4 in athletics.
All right. +4 athletics. And who do you want to take your -4, Jason or Mike? Based on their voices and that being the only knowledge you have of them.
Let me see. Mike. I
All
work
right,
with a
Mike.
mic, so familiarity has outdone you.
So you're getting the brunt of it. So -4 athletics. Mike, what do you want +4 in?
So whatever I take, Jason is really getting trashed here.
Yep.
Actually, no, Rick is
It could
available.
be me too. Yeah.
Well, Rick's got to go
Rick's
last.
gotta go last.
Yeah, because he can't pick another one.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to take a +4 in guns.
All right. +4 guns. Which takes you down to -2, right, Jason?
Just ruining everybody, Mike.
It's been years since I played Paranoia, but come on. It doesn't go away.
All right, Jason, what do you want the final +4 of the character creation to be?
+4 in. Did we get a charm this round? We haven't. So I'll take the +4 in charm.
Okay, so Rick, you'll have -4 charm.
Oh my gosh, I am
So-
not charming.
Yeah. So it can't go below -4.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
you're
I already
just
had
at
a
-4.
Okay.
All right, so now you're going to have an opportunity to edit your stats in a couple of different ways. You start the game with 8 points of Moxie, and that's basically how much stress you can take, which allows you to activate powers. Some equipment takes Moxie to use, and things like that. So you have 8 points for the game. You can use 5 points that are taken away permanently right now to increase a skill on a 1-to-1 ratio. So 1 point of Moxie increases the skill by 1. You can also use rads. You can use up to 5 rads to go ahead and increase skills by 1 point each. You can also, instead of increasing skills, use 5 rads to gain 1 mutant power automatically.
Ooh, a mutant power. And what?
I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, we just don't know. We
You
just
have
go roll
No,
it.
I will start this party off. Go ahead and give me a mutant
I've
power,
got a
sir.
deck of mutant. Well, I think you got the best stat line of anybody at the table. Mutant power for Michael. The gold army surplus. You have a third arm. It's
I
hidden
can-
underneath your clothing. It is, in all ways, a perfectly functional arm, only you know it's extra. So hey, you can carry 3 guns.
For the special line stat, it's also is kept at 4, right?
Yes, but you shouldn't be able to get it to 4 right now.
Actually, yes, I can.
No, because you only have 3 skills that you can put into.
No, I have charm and perform at a +5.
No, that's not how it's measured. I'll tell you how to measure that in a
Okay.
second. Yeah,
I
we
was
haven't
fu-
got there yet.
I was playing old Paranoia rules, so I was already pre-doing the math.
Does anybody have want another mutant power?
I'll take one.
Anybody want to spend their 5 rads?
Yep. I'll do it. I like mutant powers.
Jason, you got sucker. You have a row of suckers down the inside of each arm with the last and smallest one in the palm of your hand. These give you +2 to your dice for any manual dexterity tasks and in any brawling or wrestling style of combat. If you burn 1 Moxie, you can also carry twice as much as a normal person. So you have octopus arms.
And that actually works for this character.
That's really funny. Anybody else want a mutant power for 5 rads?
It's like snake oil salesman.
I want one real bad. I want to say no, but I totally want one.
You gonna do it?
Yeah.
5 rads for mutant power?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, you got Jigsaw. You can detach parts of your body and they will continue to function and follow your commands. You can also reattach them afterwards. Burn 1 Moxie point to detach 1 part from a digit or sensory organ up to an entire limb and control it up to 5 meters away from your body. If not returned to your body after 3 minutes, it goes rogue.
I love this.
You're sure that you could send limbs further away or even reattach body parts severed by wounds. Or even separate and rejoin your head if you tried hard enough.
All right, go ahead. It's like none of us are going to go back into a vault anyway, so
Well, you've got to return from your mission at some point.
so well, none of us will be able to.
All right, Rick, you want a mutant power? You got it. X-ray vision. You can see through stuff. How much stuff depends on how much moxie you spend. Cloth, thin plastic, thin flesh cost 1 point. Thin walls and regular doors cost 2 points. A full meter of steel, it says, let's see, shall we? I don't know what that means. I'm reading off of a card here. We'll say that would cost like 4 points. So depending on how much moxie you spend, depends on how far you can see through things. All right, Dave, do you also want a mutant power?
So does everybody already have a mutant power?
Yeah.
Yeah, the other 4
Okay.
do.
Well, you know what? Let's make it the X-Men, and you can give me one.
All right, great.
Yeah.
So take 5 rads, and you get, you're lucky. Lucky punk. You are naturally lucky whenever it counts.
That sounds
You
great.
can share that ability with others. Spend 1 moxie point to adjust 1 dice in any roll by +1 or -1. So you can turn a 4 into a success with a 5, or you can even screw over your party members by turning a 5 into a failure. You can even make the stranger's die turn away from the stranger's side.
That's lucky,
So-
I feel.
So I know I called the stranger's die the fate die in the document that I sent out, but I think after some deliberation we decided to go with the what was it, the wandering stranger, the mysterious stranger. That's what it is. I haven't played nearly enough Fallout. Cool. So everybody's got a mutant power. Did anybody permanently exhaust moxie points to increase skills?
I did.
Yep.
Okay. How many did you permanently go out? 4. Okay, great. So what skills did you wind up increasing?
Athletics and resolve.
Okay, cool. Mike, how many did you exhaust?
4.
You went out with 4, and what did you increase?
Search, bluff, and charm.
Nice. Did anybody else take permanent moxie hits?
I did. I increased, so I took 2, and I gave 1 more to melee and 1 more to speed.
Okay, nice. And Rick, it looks like you're taking 2.
Yeah, so far. The luck, I guess, affects the die rolls.
Yes. Well, luck is a stat in this game.
Okay.
So depending on what you try to do, kind of like other games that we've played, like 7th Sea or Legend of the Five Rings, you're going to tell me what you're trying to do, and I'm going to tell you which dice to pick up. So I'll give you a stat point and a skill to use.
Okay.
And luck could be that one if there's not a stat that, like, I want to jump over a 30-foot chasm. Well, it's probably not going to happen, but you can use your luck. See if the wind carries you.
And I got some horrible. I'm gonna have horrible stats all the way across.
You could be like Homer in Devil's Gorge and go over it in a skateboard,
Yeah.
but you could end up with every bone broken in your body too.
That's true. Nathan, how many did you use?
I used 4 and I put them all in throw.
You really want that +4
I
throw?
do. I want to throw real good.
Okay.
I want my dad to be proud of me.
He wouldn't play catch with me when I was
Well,
a child.
I can't tell you for sure that that's going to happen based on this game, but we'll see what happens. All right, so the next step for you guys is going to be to look at each of your 7 different categories and see how many positive scores you have in each, and that will be your stat for that. So if you've got a, like Rick, I'm looking at your sheet, you've got a positive athletics, negative melee, and positive throw, you would have a 2 in strength because you've got 2 positive stats in your strength column.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah, so you don't even out like how many positives versus negatives.
So I'm assuming
Count
the
only
minimum
the
is 1.
positives. No, if you for some reason didn't take any in that stat, then you could be really, really bad at that thing.
I'm terrible. I got it.
Don't worry, you'll have opportunities to spend experience to increase those things.
And minuses count.
No, minuses count for nothing. Just count how many positives are in each block.
Oh, so it's just so we'd be 0 if we're at negative number.
Correct. Yeah.
So you can
Don't-
only
so,
get
like-
up to 3.
Yeah, you can only get up to 3.
Okay.
All right, so I'll go ahead and explain how skill checks work real quick, and then we'll get actually started in the adventure itself. Basically, you're going to tell me what you want to do, what you're trying to accomplish, and I'll tell you a skill and a stat to use. You're going to pick up a number of dice equal to those 2 numbers combined. If overall it's negative, you're going to pick up a total. So, like if you've got a -4 in the... so, Rick, if I asked you to do melee, because your melee is -4, and I told you to do it with endurance, which is a 3. Your total is a -1, right? So you're actually going to pick up 7 dice because your total would be 7 if it was positive. And you'll roll all of those plus the stranger's die. You always roll the stranger's die. And normally a 5 or 6 counts as a success and everything else washes out. But if your roll overall is negative, anything that's not a 5 or a 6 is going to cancel a success.
So are we going to play the old I know this is...
No, we're not playing Old Paranoia.
Well, what I was going to say was if you could try to sneak not throwing the computer die.
If you neglect to throw the stranger's dice, really bad things are going to happen to your character specifically.
Needed to make that clear.
Okay, so the stranger's dice, just for my clarification, is
Yes.
the different colored one, right?
Yes, it's the different colored one. And if you roll a 6 on that different colored die, then the stranger activates.
Okay.
And something is going to happen in the world. Now, Mike, you've got my fancy computer die, so when the computer facing comes up, that's your stranger symbol. All right. Did everybody finish going through their stat blocks? Looks like you've still
Yes.
got a +1 on.
No, that's a plus and that's a minus.
Yeah, they don't cancel out.
Oh, they don't.
No, none of them cancel out. So
Okay, so
we got the coppers. They heard we were playing Paranoia.
Do
Oh
we,
no, that's a fire truck.
do we want to shut the window?
Yeah, we can.
It's just another Fallout faction in 76, the Responders.
All right, cool. So, does anybody have a 3 in any stat?
I do.
I do also.
Endurance.
Nice. Dave, do you have a 3 in any of your stats?
No, I do not. I have
cool.
2 2s.
Okay, and you know that like the negatives don't cancel out your positives, right? You heard that?
Yeah, so
Just because I
it's
can't see
just
your
like,
sheet, so I want to.
right. So it'd be you'd have to have all 3 like plus.
Yeah,
in
all
order-
3 would have to be positive. Yes.
Yep.
So Nathan and Rick, you guys both have positives in or 3 positives in 2 stats or in a stat. So you'll get to pick starting gear first.
Oh.
The 2 of you will. So you've got 3 in endurance. So you can pick either the endurance 2 or 3 package. Do you want to be the trapper, which is the endurance 2 package, or the radiation expert, which is the endurance 3 package?
I will take the trapper. Trapper, just like it sounds. I mean.
Yeah, you will get a forensics kit that will help you track things really
Oh,
easily.
track. I thought you said
No,
trap.
trapper. Yeah, so you get a forensics kit that helps you track, and you also get bear traps.
Okay, and the radiation gives me.
You would get a suit that helps you resist environmental hazards and a map.
I'll take the radiation kit.
Okay, radiation's expert, rad's expert. So that's what you'll put in your occupation, the one that we ignored earlier. Rad's expert, and in your gear for your armor, you have a danger suit.
Ooh, Nick Danger. Danger suit. All right.
Danger Bronson. Okay, and that's going to give you 1 extra hurt. And you also get +3 dice to resist environmental effects. So just write that underneath.
Okay.
And you don't really have a gear spot, so you can write this underneath weapons. Or if I said weapons and gear, yeah, that works. You have a map, which gives you +1 to survival, tracking, and vault rolls that you can, not permanently, but when you're using the map.
So it's +1 to survival.
Survival, tracking, and vault.
Okay.
All right, and let me write something down for you and hand it to you, because all of these gear sets also come with their own secret mission that you're trying to accomplish while we play. Here you go. All right, now Nathan, what is your 3 in?
It's in intelligence.
All right, great. You can either be the Intelligence 2 is the equipment operator, or the Intelligence 3 is the demolitionist.
What do they give me?
The demolitionist will give you an explosives kit, which gives you +2 to engineer explosives and +2 to damage from explosives. And it'll give you a splash barrier, which is a one-time use shield that will protect from all explosives that aren't nukes.
Okay.
I wanted to blow things up.
And what's the other one?
The equipment operator. You would get a Vault Tech manual that gives you +3 to operate any Vault Tech objects. And you would get blueprints that would let you easily and quickly navigate the inner workings of a vault.
Okay, I'm gonna do the explosives one.
Okay, cool. So demolitionist is your occupation. And instead of armor, you're going to get 2 pieces of gear. The explosives kit.
It's a good thing you can throw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's +2 to engineer explosives and +2 to damage from explosives.
Okay.
And you get a splash barrier, which is a one-time use shield that protects from all explosive damage. That's not a nuke.
Okay.
And here is your secret mission.
Yay.
All right, Dave, what did you get 2s in?
I've got 2s in charisma and strength.
Okay, charisma and strength. So the charisma
Same
2.
here. By the way, same here.
Okay, cool. What are your 2s in, Mike?
I've got it in perception, charisma, and agility.
Okay, cool. So you are probably not going to get the charisma one, just because the 2 of them have to take charisma and strength, and each job can only have 1 benefactor. So the charisma 2 is the talker. Your gear would be a writ of passage that you could show to any officials in town for safe passage for a while, and a whistle grenade that stuns the room for a number of rounds equal to your charisma plus guns roll. Or the strength 2 is the brute. You get either a rifle with +1 damage or a melee weapon with +1 die to roll, and powered armor plating, which would give you 1 extra hurt and 1 extra injured spot. So which one of you guys wants the charisma talker?
I'm good with the brute.
I am too. That's the problem.
Do we roll the dice?
Sure, you guys roll a straight luck roll.
Okay.
See if either of you succeeds. Jason, what is your luck?
Luck is 1.
My luck
And
is
Dave?
1, too.
All right, straight roll off then.
Success.
I've got 5.
So did he. Roll it again.
All right.
All right, if you guys tie again, you're both just going to get to be brutes.
That works for me.
All right. Brute Brothers. I got 6.
Oh.
Dave wins it.
All right. I guess
All
I'll
right,
be the talker.
so Dave, you are the brute in your occupation.
All right.
Do you want a rifle or a melee weapon? And you get to kind of flavor the melee weapon however you want.
I would like the melee weapon.
Okay, great. So it's going to be +1 die to your melee when you make that roll. What weapon do you have? What weapon do you use?
The melee weapon?
Yeah.
The melee weapon I'm going to use is a switchblade knife that I'm very, very good with and has flames
Nice.
coming off of it.
Nice. All right. And you also have powered armor plating
Yeah,
in your armor, and it gives you 1 extra hurt and 1 extra injured.
I'm like a honeybee. I'm like big and I got a little stinger.
And Jason, you got a writ of passage.
Yeah, I
That'll give
already
you
wrote.
safe passage through an area, and a whistle grenade.
Yeah.
Cool.
Is that a one-time use?
Yeah. I mean, it's a
Okay,
grenade.
Grenade, I know.
And Mike, you have, so they've already taken charisma, so you get either perception or
Agility.
agility. Okay, so perception, the perception 2 is the scout. You get gear you get thermo switch binoculars that have thermal and night vision. Gives you +3 to perception with no penalty to darkness. And you get a recorder/transmitter that can communicate findings from a distance. That's the scout. You also, so agility 2 is the thief. Your gear is a knife and a thieves toolkit.
I think I'm going to go with Scout.
All right. So, all right, Jason, let me write down your secret mission here.
Appreciate you. Dave, I don't know about you while we've got this a little bit of downtime, but I was totally picturing Tunnel Snake's rule when we were both trying to get strength.
Yeah. Tunnel snakes do rule. Yeah, that was funny. You said success, and I was like, I don't know what success is.
Me neither, Dave. Me neither.
Well, he said a luck roll, and we would have to get a success to get it, so that's why I was like 5 or 6. So I got a success.
Okay, I'm with it. I'll catch on.
All right, and Dave, I'll type yours into the Skype.
Okay. Let me make
I'm
sure.
gonna use this moment that's gonna get cut out to. Here, I'll do the.
That's a Nuka-Cola, ladies and gentlemen.
Ironically, I actually have that sound on our technical difficulties transmission.
Is that what Chris was using last week?
No, when we had our issues, I did a montage of technical difficulty things within our stream, and one of the sounds was a can opener. So you all get a chance to see it, but
I think I know when that was from, because I think I remember that exact conversation when that happened.